Hello everyone, welcome to yet another installment of Layman's View. This is where we review a week that was. Elami gama Ntobeko Khuluse, and this is podcast radio and stuff. Kule ngosi suke sikubhekele izitori ekuyizona ezihambe phambili esontweni leli siphuma kulona. Kodwa ngaphambi kokuthi ngikutshele ngezitori mina ekuyizona engiyibona ezihambe phambili lesonto esiphuma kulona, angeke ngikwazise ukuthi phela ungasubscribe kule channel. Ukusubscribe kule channel kumahala, awukhokhi ngisho i-cent, ngisho indibilishile. So please go and click subscribe. It's absolutely free. Once you've subscribed, you can also go into the comment section and comment, tell us your views and thoughts on some of the stories that we'll be talking about. You can also take this video, we send labangani bakho, share with your friends, family and colleagues, tell them about podcast, radio and stuff. Do all of those things, they are absolutely free. I would really love to know your thoughts on some of the stories that we'll be looking at. What are the stories that we are looking at today? Some of the stories that we'll be looking at today. One, sokhuluma ngendaba yo chairperson bama board, Sita. Labo aba bebe-established noma besebe-nominatiwe or appointed. They were appointed. Kodwa ke kwaba khona umsindo nokukhala ukuthi labo chairperson hayi kwangathi khona ungahambi kahle kwahlehliswa. Sizobuka ukuthi uPresident Ramaphosa ngabe uzohamba kanjani njengoba nje ebheke eAmerica eyoxoxa noDonald Trump. We'll also look at the by-election results. We saw ANC iwina ama by-election results amaningi. So bese sibuka ke as a sports from Kaizer Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns to Orlando Pirates. Ilezo indaba esokubhekela zona kuyingosi yanamhlanje. Ake singene kuzona. So I think the first story that really stood out for me this week, it happened late in the week. It's the nominations of the board chairpersons of Sita. So not nominations, I keep saying nominations, but appointments. So the board chairpersons of Sita were appointed. And if you look at the list of those chairpersons, many of them are from the ANC. They are from the ANC or they have some links with the ANC. Ngicabanga ukuthi okususa umsindo kakhulu indodana kaGwedemantashe that we saw that was part of that list, and people had an issue with that. We saw doctor, now she's a doctor this week actually, Dr. Nomusa Dube. She graduated in UKZN. She's now a doctor. Congratulations to the former premier of KZN, Dr. Nomusa Dube. So we saw her there as well. She was nominated as the chairperson. We saw Amanda Bani. She's part of that list. And a whole lot of people, mainly from KZN as well, a lot of people who have links with ANC and KZN were part of that list. And political parties started making noise, saying, what is going on here? Why are these people nominated to be part of, or rather to be chairpersons of Sita boards? Because they were saying it doesn't seem right that all of these people, or majority of these people, they have some links with the ANC. Sibonile EDA, mina ngiqala ukubona nje ku-spokesperson se-DA, Miss Khakhawa, I think that's her surname. I might be getting it wrong, but the spokesperson of the DA tweeted the list at, this is wrong. Government has to be held accountable. This can't go on. The MK party, they also wrote a letter to the chairperson of the Committee of Higher Education in Parliament saying, hey, there's something fishy here. We saw Sihle Lonzi, who is the EFF MP, being forcefully removed in Parliament in the Committee of Higher Education, where he wanted to ask the DG of the Department of Higher Education, Uguti, is this list true? He wanted, the questions that he said he wanted to put to the DG was, are you aware of the list that is out, and is the list true? And that list, of course, I've mentioned some of the people that are part of that list. But because of that action, we saw Sihlelonzi being forcefully removed from parliament, where he wanted to ask the DG of higher education if he's aware of the list of the chairpersons of Sita. And the chairperson of the portfolio committee was having none of that. He had him forcefully removed from parliament. And uma ngabe chaza uchairperson we portfolio committee uthi izathu esidale sokuthi amkhiphe uSihlolonzi ingoba ube late and bese kuvunyelweni ukuthi le ndaba angeke kukhulunywe ngayo manje kodwa kuzokhulunywa ngayo next week. So it was not part of the agenda, and bebengeke bayishintshe agenda uku-accommodate uSihlelonzi obe late. But Sihlelonzi is like, this is a national, this is a matter of national importance. I needed an answer. I needed to hold the executive to account. So the DG is an accounting is an accounting officer. So he's the person that accounts on behalf of the department. So he's the right person that I should have asked. So very interesting. And quickly, late at night, in fact, we saw the Minister of Higher Education reversing the appointment of these chairpersons, saying they are no longer appointed. Now I'll just recalibrate the process and make sure that we appoint people differently, and invited people to nominate people that they would like to see being part of the chairpersons. Now the question is, ngabe uminister ubezoyireversa yini decision yakhe ukube iDA ayizange itweete about this list, iphinde ibhale nencwadi ibhalele uchairperson we-portfolio committee of higher education. Same thing with the MK and the EFF as well, making noise. It seems like the GNU is working. It seems like ANC having a reduced minority, or rather majority, well, not even majority, having a reduced numbers of seats in parliament is working in our favor as the nation. Because if you ask me, in the past parliament, before the elections of May 2024, the ANC would have been able to pass this, because even if the DA was to make noise, they didn't have the numbers to stop it from happening. So the DA would make noise, and the EFF, they would make noise, but nothing, they couldn't do anything. Because when it comes to voting, they would vote against, or rather, yes, they would vote against, but ANC would vote for whatever that they wanted to pass in parliament. So it does seem like the reduced numbers of the ANC allows accountability to be the order of the day, which I'm sure many people are appreciating. Of course, the ANC can't appreciate that. I know that the ANC released a statement as well, saying they appreciate this, the move that the Minister of Higher Education has done to withdraw the nominations of these chairpersons. And they say what has won is accountability, and this follows a consultation and input from all stakeholders. But the fact is, had it been in the previous parliament where the ANC had all the numbers, even if they were shouting and being unhappy, the ANC was going to do what the ANC wanted to do. That's my view. That's what I think. So thank God for the GNU and for the reduced majority. Now ANC can be held accountable. And it is being held accountable in parliament, if you ask me. So even the removal of Lonzi, what, in my view, it was wrong. What is wrong with putting a question and then give the DG an opportunity to answer? whatever way. Lonzi was not going to force the DG to answer in a particular way. But the DG could have said, this is with the minister will make a statement at the right time, or whatever that he was going to say. Angisiboni isizathu mina sokuthi uSihle Lunzi bese kumele azakhishwe ngendlela akhishwe ngayo. I just think that was wrong. It was just the ANC people being frustrated that they can't act as they like, as they used to. That's how I see it. So yeah, it's been really crazy. But fact is, this is a victory for opposition parties. And I know that the DA is part of government, but the way that they are acting lately, they are more an opposition party than they are a governing party, if you ask me, because yeah, they are opposing everything that government does. So what did you make of all that drama? What did you make of all that drama? Please go into the comment section and tell me your thoughts of what you made of the appointed chairpersons, and now the decision has been reversed because there's been noise from opposition parties, which include, of course, the top 4 or top 3 biggest parties in parliament, with an exception, of course, of the ANC, the DA, the MK party, as well as the EFF. Please go into the comment section and tell me your thoughts and views on this big story that took place. And it's not the first reversal. Another reversal that we had, remember, we had the VAT, or rather the budgets, VAT being reversed, and the budget was not tabled. And now we are waiting for budget 3.0 that is coming next week. So it does seem like there is some accountability that is happening in our parliament. That's the sense that I'm getting. Is my sense true? Are you getting the same sense or not really? Please tell me on your thoughts and views on the comment section. The next story that stood out for me, it has to be the news that President Ramaphosa will be traveling next week to meet President Donald Trump. President Donald Trump announced this when he was asked by reporters why is he accepting refugees from South Africa while he's not accepting refugees from a whole lot of other countries that are war-torn countries, that are countries that are in war. But he's accepting refugees who are being abused and bad things are happening to them in South Africa. Why is he accepting those people? And he was answering that question saying bad things are happening in South Africa, saying we are siyabahlukumeza, basically ethi amabhunu thina sibhizi sihlukumeza amabhunu la South Africa. Basically that's what Donald Trump was saying. And then he said uzohlangana with leadership yala South Africa sathola. I mean, later on our presidency as well announced ukuthi President Ramaphosa will be traveling to Washington in America to meet President Trump. 2 things from that. One, on Sunday siwabonile amabhunu lawa akhala ngokuhlukunyezwa u49 ehamba ebheke eAmerica. Siyazi ukuthi abantu abanamanga laba bahambile. Bengilindele mina ukuthi bazohamba babe baningi, ngoba phela bengithi baningi abakhala ngokuthi bayahlukunyezwa. Bathi sibhizi sithatha amaplaza wabo. Bathi ziningi izinto ezimbi esibezenzayo kubona la eSouth Africa. Siyababulala makushiwo. Thiwa abantu abamnyama ababhizi babulala labantu abelungu noma amabhunu. Siyazi ukuthi akulona iqiniso lelo. That is absolutely not true. That is not true. Kodwa ke abahambe bayophila impilo abafuna ukuyiphila eAmerica. Washo umseliku kwababa ukuthando nesithembu wathi abahambayo so sale sincenga, abahambayo so sale sincenga. Ngicabanga ukuthi baningi abanye abafisa ukubalandela ababalandele. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel about South Africa, let them go. It's okay. let them go because they don't want to be here. We can't hold them ransom. We can't hold them here without their will. So if they don't want to be part of this Nelson Mandela Rainbow Nation, they must go. They must go because they are liars. They are liars. They know that they are lying. They are lying. They are lying. They are living a comfortable life here in South Africa. And many white people who are telling the truth, who are saying these people are lying. So all of the people that are lying, who are part of AfriForum and what's the other one, Solidarity, and all the other movements that are lying, abahambe. So sala sincenga thina, we'll be okay. We'll be fine without them. Let them go if that's what they want to do. Abahambe. Well, that's what I have to say about them. Now, let's talk about President Ramaphosa going to America. Umbuzo mkhulu uthi ngabe kuzokwenzekala ku President Ramaphosa lokho kwenzeka ku Vladimir Zelensky, upresident wase Ukraine. Uyakhumbula when President Zelensky visited Donald Trump, he was embarrassed. He was thrown into the deep end, had conversations, pendulana with Donald Trump, and reporters were asking him questions, and lauma reporter avunyelwa ukuthi abe se Oval Office. Ama reporter who are empathetic or sympathetic towards President Donald Trump. Umbuzo uthi ngabe uPresident Ramaphosa uzotreatwa ngendlela efanayo yini? Ngabe engagement yakhe no President Donald Trump izoba ku TV sonke sokwazi ukubona sibone ukwenzakalani? And will he be embarrassed as we saw President Zelensky being embarrassed by Donald Trump? What's going to happen? What are you expecting to happen when President Ramaphosa gets to the USA in Washington, D.C.? Very, very interesting times. Very interesting times. And what does he say to Donald Trump? Does he say to Donald Trump it's not true that there is a genocide in South Africa against Afrikaners and farmers? Is that what he's going to say? Will that work? Will Donald Trump accept that? Is that what he wants to know? Does it matter? Does he care about the truth? Does Donald Trump care about the truth? Or he believes what he believes for whatever political agenda that he wants to drive? What is it that President Ramaphosa will offer Donald Trump? Because you saw with Zelensky that there were resources that he wanted from Ukraine, and he wanted that exchange. So he is called a transactional president. What is it in it for him? What is it in it for America? So what is it that we have as South Africa that we can offer Donald Trump for Donald Trump to say, okay, that's fine. You know, I like you now, guys. Do we have that one thing? Mineral resources, maybe? Or we will withdraw the case against Israel? Because that's what he wants. That's part of the things that he wants. Or maybe are we gonna say, who's this? Elon Musk can bring his Starlink business to South Africa? Is that what we're gonna say? Maybe Donald Trump wants, Elon Musk to have his Starlink business in South Africa without following, the processes and allowing or rather, maybe we can bend the rules when it comes to redress and say it's fine. It can be owned by him alone. Because apparently he doesn't like the fact that there has to be some triple BEE ownership. What is it that we're going to give Donald Trump? Is there something that we as South Africa or President Ramaphosa can offer Donald Trump? I think that's a big question. So I don't know. I wait with bated breath ukubona ukuthi kuzohamba kanjani laphayana eAmerica uPresident Ramaphosa mabe sehlangana no President Donald Trump. When ulindele, if it will be televised, I'm expecting fireworks. And I'm expecting fireworks because Donald Trump is a reality TV star. He knows what he's doing when he brings those cameras. He wants the numbers. So it's going to be a great television. So, and he's got a lot to say about South Africa. He's never loved South Africa. He's never loved South Africa. He's said many, many horrible things about South Africa. So now he just has a reason to believe whoever that speaks rubbish about us, and he takes that rubbish and believe it, that it's the truth. So how do you have a rational conversation with a person that doesn't want to believe you? Is it even possible for President Ramaphosa to convince Donald Trump that these things that he says they are happening in South Africa are not happening? We know that they are not happening, but is there a way of convincing Donald Trump? That's the question. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm expecting, but if there will be cameras, I am expecting fireworks. I'm expecting Donald Trump to perform. I just hope that our president will be presidential and he'll maintain decorum and be able to, keep his calm and not allow Donald Trump to make him degenerate. We can't stoop to his level. But let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Please go into the comment section and share your thoughts. Tell me what is it that you are expecting sorry man, I see that my lighting is going there. But tell me what is it that you are expecting when President Ramaphosa meets a Donald Trump. Now, another story as we approach the end that I want to look at are the by-elections. By-elections happened this week, and we saw ANC winning many of the wards. I think the biggest one is here in KZN, and the reason for that is because MK Party has been winning all the wards here in KZN. But we saw ANC winning a ward here in KZN. I think that was a big victory. And we saw the ANC winning a ward in Soweto as well. Another big victory. So ANC was saying, we are back. We are turning the corner. We are on the right direction. So this is a sign of things to come next year. And the question is it a sign of things to come next year? Has the ANC turned the corner? Have the people forgiven the ANC for all of that they've done? That people thought, ANC had not done the right things, and they punished them in the elections last year. So with what is happening now, them winning the by-elections, does this mean next year in the local government elections, the ANC again will be a dominant party? Are the by-elections a good indication of how the political party will perform in the local government elections? Is the turnout the same? I know it's a big confidence booster. Feels good to win. But is it really an indication of what will happen next year? I don't think so. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if the ANC has turned the corner and if this momentum will continue with all other by-elections that are coming before the elections next year. But really great stuff for the ANC that they won these by-elections. I think it's a great confidence booster, and it's encouraging even to their volunteers to go out there because they can see that people are now starting to believe their message that we are sorry, we will now do better going forward. We have the right people who will be able to correct or whatever wrong that we've done. So we wait and see. Not good news for the MK party, not good news for the EFF. because they lost everywhere they participated. They just lost this past was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday when the results were published. So not great news for them. And does it mean, ANC will be a dominant party yet again? That's the big question. Let's wrap it up by looking at some sports. What a week. Hey, what a week. Kaizer Chiefs, Abafana Bokuthula noXolo, the Glamour Boys, Abafana Basephefeni are champions. I know it's been a week, but hey, we are still celebrating, and allow us to celebrate. You know why? It's been 10 years, people. It's been 10 years without a silverware. So we are allowed to celebrate this one for as long as we can. Congratulations to Kaizer Chiefs, Amakosi. We hope you've turned the corner. We hope Kaizer Chiefs has turned the corner. We hope our boys will do as they did this past Sunday in upcoming games. I know if you love Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns and other teams, you're irritated by this now. But hey, well done to Kaizer Chiefs. Well done to Mamelodi Sundowns. They are champions for the 8th consecutive times for the PSL, but it was their 15th PSL win. So they are champions. Well done to Mamelodi Sundowns. So well deserved. I think Mamelodi Sundowns is a well-oiled machine. Untouchable. But I am hoping that Kaizer Chiefs next season will touch Mamelodi Sundowns. Having said that, congratulations and well done to Aboyelo. You've done exceptionally well over the past couple of seasons, and it's just been beautiful to watch Mamelodi Sundowns blossom. But somebody has to stop Mamelodi Sundowns, and that's Kaizer Chiefs. Orlando Pirates, we saw Orlando Pirates losing a coach who's done fairly well for our Bagabaga. And I absolutely loved the way that Jose left Mamelodi Sundowns. It was, Orlando Pirates. It was beautiful. I think it was the first time, I can't recall, the time when a coach in South Africa is celebrated so much when he leaves. In most cases, you can tell that there's animosity because coaches usually leave when they are losing games, they are not doing well. It's not always a celebration. So it was really beautiful to see a South African team bid farewell to their coach in style. Well done to Mamelodi. Why do I keep saying Mamelodi Sundowns? Well done to Orlando Pirates. That showed a lot of maturity from the Orlando Pirates management, but also the coach, the way that it was managed and handled. It was just beautiful to observe. Well done to Amabakania. I think all 3 big teams, they had big weeks. So well done to the top 3, especially Laba. Ngisho Laba. Namanje celebrator. This has been Podcast Radio and Stuff. Well, it's been a layman's view on Podcast Radio and Stuff. I'm Ntobeko Khuluse. Catch me and my partner in crime, Dogozo Chapa, tomorrow as we bring you another beautiful episode. You do not want to miss it. Thank you for watching this video until this far. I truly hope you have subscribed and you enjoyed this episode. Bye-bye.